everyone, Star here from Diane Furniss, and sorry about that. You can see I've done a bit of other stamping here. Naughty girl, I should have put a clean one on. But never mind. This week I'm going to show you how I made this card. It's called a Diamond Triple Stepper card. As you can see, it looks better if you can see it like this. So I'll bring it over here like this for you to see. It's not my design. I've seen it done by Iced Images, Mixed Up Craft and Split Coast Stampers. So, but this is my version. Measurements are a tiny little bit different, and I thought I'd like to show you how I did this. Now this will fit into a 6 by 6 inch square card, envelope, sorry, and stand up, you drunken piece. So what I'm going to do this, I'm going to do with all the products that I'm using from Stampin' Up are retired, except for the ink colour. So, and the card colour. But all the other products are. So this is my card. I loved it. I thought it was absolutely gorgeous. It makes a change from just a plain old card, and it does set up really, really nicely. So let's pop that out of the way, and I'll show you what I'm using. I'm going to be using this really old set. I don't know if it has a date on it. Let me have a look, see if it's got a date on it somewhere. Maybe on the thingies here. Oh, I wish they would date them. That would be really nice, and then you could say how long ago it was. No, there's definitely no date on here that I can see. So unless there's one on the back of this piece. Nope, no dates. So sorry, can't tell you when, but it would be quite a few years back now because this colouring is gone for sure. It's black here now. So yep, that's the set we're going to be using, called Coffee Cafe, and even the paper, the DSP, is from the same set. Now I've done my cutting out, but I will show you how I did that, so that you know how to do that. Okay, so this is what we're going to need. There's a fair few pieces, but it's not too bad. So we need a piece of card for our main card, which is 11 inches by 6 inches. And then for our insert, we need a piece that measures 5 3/4 by 2 3/4 and 5.5 by 2.5. And then for the front, back part, you need a piece that's exactly the same size, so 5 3/4 by 2 3/4, and our designer series paper which measures 2.5 by 5.5. For the next layer on the front, we need a piece that measures 5 3/4 by 1 1/4, and the DSP will be measuring 5.5 by 1. And then for the very, very front, we need a piece that measures 5 3/4 by 3/4 of an inch and 5.5 by half. So that's for the main part of the card. So let's pop them out of the way, like so. Now for my diamonds, we are going to use a piece of card that measures 4 1/4 square, followed by a piece that's 4 squared, and the DSP is 3 3/4 square. Now you really need, because you have this going on the diagonal like this, you need a pattern that doesn't matter which way around it goes, preferably. For my second square, you need one that is 3 3/4 square, 3 1/2 square, and 3 1/4 square. And for the last one, is 3 1/4 squared by 3 squares squared and 2 3/4 square. So that are my diamonds. So let's pop them out of the way with those pieces. Let's pop them on the bottom, and we'll bring in our scoreboard and we'll do our scoring. Now I've done my my stamping, but I will actually stamp another one because I can actually really give it to Mum. So okay, so we're going to start with our piece of card on the long side, out of the picture a bit. And we're going to score this using the narrow end, the small ball, not the large ball, at the 3-inch mark, the 6-inch mark, 7.5, 9, and 10. And that's all our scoring done. Let's pop our board out of the way, and we're going to score this, fold this. We're going to start at the large end, and we're going to do a mountain fold, and then we're going to follow with a valley fold and a mountain fold, valley fold, and finish off again with a mountain fold. We want to make sure that these are folded really nice and tightly so that the card sits up really lovely. And that is the basic part of our card. As you can see, that's what it looks like if it's on the side. Okay, so we'll pop that out of the way for a minute, and we will put our layers on the front. So, oops, my card slipped down. Had him leaning up. So we're going to be putting our pieces of designer series paper together onto the layering piece here. So I'll put all my layers on. Now once again, if you've got a pattern that is directional, it is wise to keep it in the right direction, orientation. I do have a paper here that is directional because I'm using the reverse for the other part, so I thought I'd use the teacups, coffee cups rather, for the rest of it. Haven't used this set in a long time, and I just thought, you know what, I wanted to make a male card. This one will go for either a male or a female, doesn't really matter. Okay, so there's my 3 layers, and then we'll pop these onto the card. So my piece of a designer series paper was cut following on from one another, so it will actually, the pattern will follow down. As you can see, that goes onto that one, so that will go there. And then this pattern follows on again, like so, as you can see. So he will go on the very front. Okay, so now I'll just make sure these are all down nice and tight, and then we can bring them all up again and give them all a nice burnish again. So we'll do our stamping for our insert first, which I'm going to use the stamp set that says happiness is a cup of coffee shared with a friend. And I'm actually stamping in soft suede because I thought that the early espresso was just a little bit too dark. And this is shaped like a coffee cup, like so. And I've got some coffee beans here, and I'm just going to randomly stamp around my saying. So then we're going to pop this onto the other piece of designer series layering paper card. I'm getting paper and card mixed up today pretty much, but okay. So now with this piece here, we can either pop it on the inside of the card like so, or we can pop it onto the back. Now with my other one here, I popped it onto the back, but I think I'm going to pop this one on the inside of the card this time. So I'll pop this onto the inside of the card. like so. So that's the main card done. We'll pop that over there for a minute where we'll put all of these together, all these layers. And I could have done all of this beforehand, but I didn't. But never mind. If you don't want to watch me glue, you can always whiz through, is what I say. And the lucky last here. I'm gluing these together. And we will pop that one with that one like so. Okay, so we're going to pop these onto here now. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually open this up a bit, and we're going to pop this one in here so that these two corners actually match up with that edge there like so. To do that, you'll find that that's just a tiny little point out, a very tiny little point. So I just trimmed the tiniest piece off the bottom there so that when I pop that in there, which I didn't do very straight, did I? No, that wasn't very clever, was it? That's better. Okay, so when we pop that in there and we line these up from that corner to that corner, this will not hang over the fold line. So for the first one, it's really quite easy. We're just going to put glue from the corner to the corner and down the back. And we're going to line this up. Now if you wanted to draw a mark on your card so that you know where it's going in the center here, that's fine, you can do that. But for me, I think it's easy enough to eyeball this one, and I can see that that now is level on both sides here, and I can then push that down nice and tight. Remembering we only put glue on half of it, so it will stand up like so. Turn that over and give that a nice good burnish down, and you'll know that it's down nice and tight. For our next layer, we are then going to pop this one in here, and this one you can do exactly the same again. Just cut off that little point at the bottom there so that it will line up perfectly with the sides on both of those. Now for me, I found the easiest way to do that, to know how much glue to put on the back, was to turn it over like this and line it up along this edge and this edge, and holding it down, I could then place glue across this top piece and down. Once I've done that, I can turn it back over and pop it back in there and line it up once again with my side edge here and here of the one behind. Once you're happy with that, give it a good push down, and again turn it over and give it a nice good burnish down so that it's nice and glued down. If you want to use double-sided tape, that's fine. I don't find it double-sided tape to be strong enough for my liking, but that's just me. With the last one, we can do exactly the same again. We can just chop that little corner off down there so that it's flat on that edge, and we can line that up, and we can see that that now lines up nicely with those two edges. Once again, turn it over and bring it up nice and straight, making sure that it is in the right spot, and place your glue on the back. Then turn it over and bring it back up to the front, lining it up with these edges here and here and right along that one. And again, turn it over, and as you can see, there's a little bit that's swished out. So make sure that that's all nice and neat. Just give that a bit of a wipe. And there we have it. We have the main part of our card. Look at that. Stand up. And he's standing up beautifully. So let me show you what I did for what I'm going to put on the front. Now I used a small piece, I'll pop my card out of the way for a moment. I used a small piece of white card, and I stamped this image here along with Life Happens, Coffee Helps, and the coffee cream on the top. And I did all of that in soft suede. I will do this. I won't cut it out because I've already done it, but I will do it, and that way I can give this one to Mum. So gave that a good push down. I then did my coffee up here, and then my saying up above it. Then I cut them all out using the dies that are in the same set. So I cut the coffee cream out and I glued it to the back of the coffee cup so that it looks like it's inside the coffee. My saying just gets put on the front like so. So let's get a couple of dimensionals. That's the little ones. I don't want the little ones, I want the larger ones. So oops, get off my finger. And my saying can then sit onto the front of my coffee cup, and then I will pop this onto the front of my card just here like so. So I'm going to pop that up on some dimensionals as well. Someone asked me, do I use these edges? Yes, I do use the edges. I find that they're great for what I'm going to do right now, which is through that middle section there. So I will cut a piece. I find they're really great for little things, and as I say, for putting through the middle of something like that. I don't see the point in wasting anything. Get off my finger. I think that one's the one that's got one on, yeah. So we're going to pop this onto here like this, and you've got a wow factor card, and I think that's gorgeous. Yes, and I'm just going to give this a little bit of spray with Shears Shimmer Craft Spray. So I'll just bring this over here out of the way. It will give that shine onto the front. Oops. And it will stand up gorgeously. Now I'm finding that this paper is just a little bit needing more. So there we go. We all stand up beautifully, and I hope you've enjoyed today's card. I loved it. I love the way it's turned out, and it looks nice as a man's card as well as a lady's card. I just think, oh wow, what a lovely presentation. And it makes a change from a square card, and as I say, this will fit into a 6x6 envelope. If you would like the written tutorial for this, please head over to Di's Den for stamping, crafting and tutorials. If you like this card, please give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, please subscribe. The more subscribers I get, the more I can get out there and more people can see what I do, and I think it's just a lovely idea to share what you enjoy doing, which is all I'm doing here. So I will see you again next time. Bye for now.